In this video, we're going to talk about Mothernode CRM's Job Board. And so the Job Board gives us a 30,000 foot view of the jobs that we have from our orders that are going through our different departments that we have in our production process. And so this can be from a variety of different industries. In this specific case, we're going to be looking at items that are in the manufacturing space, so the signage industry specifically. So in this case, this job board gives us a listing of all the most recent jobs that we have currently in our production process and where they are throughout different departments at the line item level. So each one of these specific products which is being produced has different levels of completion. Some of them may have departments that were skipped and so on and so forth. So let's get our bearings. As we take a look at the job board over here, we can see that we have an order number and then we have a job number here as well. We have the customer reference and the item name that is in the job board here. Some status information. If you're using the scheduling for the time tracking, etc., we would see the duration that's being included in here. Keep in mind that this is going to be demo data and the workflow that this particular job flow is going through. So these departments are a part of this workflow here. So you can make a variety of workflows. You can make an unlimited amount of workflows for different products or services that you want to track through different phases. So in this instance over here, off to the side, we can see that we have our production job flows here. We also have the pre-production ones here. There's only one department in pre-production, so when I hover over it, it can say design services, so that's the name of this department. And we also have post-production. So these are the three sort of phases that we go through with each one of our jobs. Now, as I mouse over these items here, you can see that I have my different names for these departments, so you get used to what they are based on the acronyms that you see here. And then when you click on any one of these as an example, you can go ahead and you can start, you can complete, or you can skip. So in this instance here, I can click start, and then we get a green icon. Okay, that means that it's been started. Now over here, when I choose to say complete, then we get a blue icon. So over here you can see the background color is blue. Everything in here that's blue now is completed. Everything here that is green has been started. And now we have another one where if we say skip, it turns yellow. And then over here, everything that we can see visually has been tagged in a yellow icon, okay? Now, one thing to note is that down below over here, we can see that I also have items that have an underscore that is red. That lets me know that it's a visual saying that it is late in this department, okay? So just by looking at all of this, I get a good dashboard as to what's going on with these particular jobs. When something is sort of lacking, then I can see that I'm in a little bit of trouble here, okay? So easy ways to just stay on top of this. Now over here, what I can do is I can also filter on the information I'm seeing down below. So let's take a look at some of the filters that are available to us. First of all, if I just want to look at the job itself, then I can filter on the job number and now get a very streamlined look at what's happening with this particular project. I only have 2 line items in here, so it's easy to see. So very, very nice. I'm going to clear this. Another thing is I can start to look at status. So if I want to see anything that's been completed, okay, nothing here for that. In progress, okay, I can see here the status here is going to be in progress. So this is the status that's being called up here, all right? Now, another thing I can do is I can start to look on workflow. So if I want to see some examples here just of this particular workflow, then I can do that. And this is going to be all of the workflows that are assigned currently in my job board that have the workflow signage company example here. Okay, so these are all the ones that are respecting that workflow. Another thing I can do is I can look at the work center over here. So if I want to circle this and say, okay, I want to see design services, if I click on this, what happens is that it calls out the workflow or the work center that I'm currently reviewing, and it puts it in this charcoal gray color. Now you can also see off to the side there's a little bit of a band here, and that band represents one of these colors. So I can easily see that even though I'm looking at design services, there's a little bit of a yellow band off to the side, so I know that it's going to be skipped in this case. Okay, so I can see that. And as I choose these different parameters here, by the way, when I put in my different search criterias, you can see that it's going to hold these multiple criterias over here. Okay, so if I want to get rid of one of these here, I can just do that and click off of that, and now it's going to go away. So some of my search criteria will be appearing across the bottom here. As it relates to dates, I have my due date over here, and this is going to be the order due date. So if I want to start looking at order due dates and finding out what's sort of behind or what's coming up that I need to pay attention to, then I can do that on the order due date. Okay, so very important. If you're using the scheduling process along with this job board, then basically these are the scheduling start dates and the scheduling end dates that you can go ahead and filter on. The other thing you can also do is you can group the information that you see on this screen over here. So when I click group, I can group by customer, so I can see all of the customer orders that are in here and their line items. So each one of these is going to be the different orders plus their line items, okay? And then this is grouped here. It's grouping it by the next customer, which is Apple Art Center, and so on and so forth, okay? Another way I can group is customer and the order number. So you can see there's going to be the individual orders by the customer name, okay? And then finally, more popular is going to be grouped by order number, and then you can see that you have the order numbers over here, and you can do this. Now, when I group by order number, I also have the ability to update work centers, a mass update of those work centers. And this is recommended to really do by the order number. So you get this information here, and you can sort of filter down on, let's just say 382 again. I'll do that here, and then now what I can do is I can say design services. It highlights them for me, and then over here I can say these have been completed, okay? And when I do that and I click apply, then it marks these all as completed at once. That way, if you have an order with a lot of line items where there should be a mass completion taking place, you can just complete all of those in one fell swoop, okay? So how do we get these line items to be on the job board? So that's a great question. We're going to take it through the process of creating an order, and then we're going to show how we use our estimating workflow, which includes these departments, to also be the departments we're going to be tracking through, okay? So what you'll need to do in that case is you do need to design a workflow. We have some videos on that. You want to look at with the Work Centers video, the links will be below, and also the workflow videos as well. And we also have some information in our support articles, which you can see. All links will be in the descriptions below in this video here, okay? All right, so what we want to do is this. We're going to go over here to our orders. And in our orders, we are going to, let's go ahead actually to our customers, and we'll create a brand new order for one of our customers, and it's going to be this customer here, Adams Laboratories. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump right into the action where I'm going to create a blank order. Okay, so traditionally if this had started at the quote process, it would be exactly the same, especially when using bill of materials and so on, because those workflows are already established, okay, or at least they can be or should be. So in this case over here, we'll look at this as job board example, okay, and I'll save this. Whoops, I'm going to sales rep here, so I'll do that. All right, and now what I want to do is I'm actually going to put in a due date, because we want to have that because we're going to be putting these things on the job board. So it's going to require us to do that, and that is really all we need. So when I go over here to my order entry line items, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just add one item, okay, just so we can see, maybe I'll add two, just so we can see both in the job board. So I want to go to my inventory over here, and then I'll do sign type. All right, we'll do this, we'll search. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a bunch of these. I'll change my mind. So I'm going to do this here, 10, 10, 5, and then we'll just do this one, 3, okay? And I'll do save and close. And now we've added these particular signs to our order. Now the one thing I want to check here and at least just show you, because these have already been established in inventory, we've already built the bill of materials for these finished products. So this is probably going to be for an existing customer that we have on file. These are going to be the products that they order, the signs that they order. And so we already have the bill of materials lined up for it. I'll show you that in a second. Then we also have the labor assigned to the workflow, which is assigned to these particular products. Okay, so just want to make sure you have those in place. If you're going to start this from scratch, that's fine. As long as you have the workflows in place, they can be added instantaneously. So let's just take a look at this guy here. We're going to open this up, and you can see here that I have all the particulars about this. At the very top, I have my material costs, which is going to be the total of the bill of materials down below. And then over here, I have my labor costs, which is going to be a total of the labor tab here, which is essentially the workflow and it does all of this for me. Okay, so this is to produce a quantity of 1, so I know how much it's going to. This is for a single unit. Okay, even though I have a quantity of 10, this is all to make a single unit. So here, if I wanted to change my labor or my labor workflow as an example, I can just do this, change this to use workflow, and it's going to change it to these 2 departments. I don't have anything else here. That's not what I want. The default for this product is going to be this one here. And so that's what I originally started with, so I can go back to that. All right, if I have any shop drawings that are going along with that, they can be included here as well. Okay, so that was on file. Again, this is an example for an existing account, an existing customer we have a program with. So we have the construction drawings that go along with that. That's in another video on bill of materials. Just take a look at that when you get a chance. The links will be below again. All right, over here, back to the materials. You can see everything I have here to build this. And so the most important part about this is that just making sure that I have everything I need. Now, again, when this is a reorder or a project that's ongoing, I've put this in my inventory. It's great. I already have this information here, so it really don't change much. But for the sake of this exercise, these are not just the departments that are used for estimating to get this total number at the top. They're also going to be the departments that appear on the job board that we want to move this project through. Okay, each one of these line items. All right, so I'm just going to hit save and close, and I'll close out of this. Now, one thing that's extremely important, just so you understand the Mothernode workflow, and this is repeated throughout different videos, but for the sake of this one, that there are 2 states for an order to be in. The first one is going to be an open order, and the second one is going to be an order that's in progress. An order that's in progress is an order that's being fulfilled, produced or fulfilled. And then the order that is open, the beginning state, is where it's still being worked. There's still going to be some finalizations that have to come from the customer. It's basically being project managed at that point, okay? Now, there's a variety of different things to be taking place in both stages, doesn't matter. But what we want to do is we have to get this into the processing the order stage, okay? So I'm going to click on yes. And then what's going to happen is that now I've processed the order. Now, in this case, what I want to do is, you may or may not know, but you can put these into production or you can bypass production altogether. It all depends on your setup and how you're working. You can mix and match those 2 formulas. But in this instance, because I am using the job board, I have to set all of these to put them into ready for production. Okay, so I need to click that button when it's ready to go. Now, what does that do? Well, now it's ready to be produced. So over here underneath the production tab, what I want to do is I want to go to ready for production here. Okay, and this is all of the items that I have that are ready to be produced. They've been entered in and somebody is now receiving these and ready to run them through. The only screen that you have to go through in this case is going to be this one right here. And you can see that I can accept any one of these items. Now here's what's really nice. You can see the workflow has already been assigned, which is terrific. I don't have to do that. But if they weren't, then the production personnel that's receiving this has the opportunity to grab one of these and set them accordingly, or reset some of these based on maybe some unique parameters for that specific job, okay? Once you do that, you can click update. But what I want to do here is I want to say accept for production. Okay, so in this particular case, I can do one of 2 things. I can either manage the job from the order itself, or depending on my workflow, I can have somebody be managing this job in the production environment, which is the orders in production. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to stay with the orders and project management. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here to my order for Adams Labs in the project management module. So here's my order that I was just in. Okay, so you can see I have my line items here. All right, and now I have a new tab called production. And in this tab, you can see I have all of the line items that were from the job board, but now they're exclusive to this particular project or this particular order. So I can go in here at any time and I can see which ones I have. And if I want to start working off of this order as an example, instead of the job board, I can get into the order itself and I can do all the same things that we talked about earlier. So I can do this. I can also do the update work centers on a mass scale, that sort of thing. So if I want to say design services, everything is started for that, or perhaps everything is completed for that, then I can do that here and it sets them all to complete. Okay, so this is one place that you can now work with those line items in the order that reference the items that are in production for this particular product. Okay, now again, going back to the job board, You can see now that the first ones at the top of the list is everything for order 389, and of course the recent changes that we made in the order reflect here, and vice versa. If I made any changes here, they would all be back in the order itself. So the job board is a great way to help people track the different activity that's taking place within the workflow environment, no matter what that is. And you can see it at the line item level and get a sort of holistic understanding of where that order is towards being completed. Again, more reference material down below. Check out the videos on workflows, check out the videos on work stages, and also other BOM videos, and some of the support articles that are available to you. Thanks very much for watching.